what's going on, everybody? Happy Veterans Day to all the men and women who've worn the uniform and kept this country steady while the rest of us argue on the internet. Today, we salute you, and we're doing the only way we know how, by diving straight into the chaos you fought to protect. Because tonight on the Rethink Tank Live, one podcaster got spiritually canceled by an entire nation for exposing an annual poop festival, while another podcaster might be legally canceled by a Navy SEAL who says, I actually did eliminate Osama. And then finally, we're peeling back the curtain on what we're calling Leviathan's legacy, the lingering influence of Obama's America. So buckle up, pour one out for freedom, pour one in for sanity, because we're about to rethink the headlines, one uncomfortable truth at a time. Let's kick it off. Before we get into our first topic here, which is quite a stinker, I do have an update for us. Normally at the beginning of these episodes, I like getting a little update of past topics. If you recall, I can't remember, it was a couple months ago, we reported about how there's the irony of a climate change festival or gathering accord in, the conference, the G7 conference in the Amazon. And for this conference, they're mowing down tens of thousands of Amazon forests to pave the way. Here's an update of what that looks like. Just wanted to, don't let it escape. We don't report it once and let it fall by the wayside. Just want to give you a little update.
Is this
power lines? We're getting it in there. Just a hole.
That's it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, all for our conference.
I was expecting something. I don't know.
We're not done yet. There will be roads.
Not done, but I thought it'd be a little bit more developed.
I guess. We've got a ways to go. Just wait until this is like a fully developed street. The reality is just taking in the magnitude of, look at that. I mean, look how much deforestation that is. Yeah. Just cleared out tens of thousands of miles, and no big deal. So, okay. Yeah. There's our update. I like keeping the people informed as but this isn't what the people want. There's a bigger headline that's got everybody's attention, and it's, I don't know if you've learned of this YouTuber and documentarian Tyler Oliveira, but I want you to picture this. Content creator Tyler Oliveira announces a new travel style documentary about one of the most unusual festivals on earth, a rural Indian ritual that locals say celebrates cleansing and renewal. What is the method of renewal and cleansing, you ask? Covering the streets and the patrons that make them up in poop. Before the filming even dropped, Indian social media lit up like the Wally at night. Thousands of angry comments, doxing attempts on Tyler's family, even death threats, all because they're sure he's going to ridicule a sacred custom. So what does Tyler do? He trolls the internet, posts a heartfelt announcement that due to the backlash, he's canceling the release. Cue the sighs of relief. Then, plot twist, 2 days later, he hits upload anyway with a post titled, Psych, and boom. The video's out, the world watches, chaos ensues. Now, the festival itself isn't some random gross out. It's not this stunt. It's an ancient symbolic ritual. The people involved say it's about purification, humility, and the renewal of community ties, not about shock value. But Tyler is being accused of framing it through that Western documentary lens of look how wild humanity can get. And that disconnect is what ignited the internet powder keg. What we're really seeing here is the clash between global content culture and local sacred tradition. The influencer economy runs on spectacle, while old world communities still live by story and spirit. When those two worlds collide, nobody comes out smelling like roses. So I got to say, take a look at it. I'm sparing you all. And You're here. You're on YouTube. You could go check it out. I implore you to do so. But this is the first frame. This.
I love how he's in a hazmat suit and no one else is.
It also made him a super target. Like,
how could it not?
Everybody's just smashing craters of cow manure on him. Okay.
That's what it is, though, right? It's not like human feces.
No, it's cow because remember, they're sacred.
I get it.
They don't eat beef. It could be grandma. I could be smashing in with grandma's cow manure. Again, not an evil Westerner making light of traditions. However, there's also things to be said about like assimilation. We are different cultures. I shouldn't have to sit here and be like, America's freedom is to protect. When those people move here and they're like, we just opened the deli on your street and every April I want to smash cow manure, I'd be like, no, we don't do that here.
I know what I've loved about the internet the most recent years, especially like the last 2-3 years, is the mysteries of India have just been unraveled. They've just been like, you know what I mean? Like, I would have had no idea what's going on in the last 2-3 years. I've learned more about that country. That has made me never want to go to that country.
Why is India mad? Not because you're lying.
No. Oh, it's like live your truth, Kings.
Think about this. To get to our crazy poo smashing parties, you've needed carrier pigeon. You've needed to come by camel. These stories stay within the walls of our brown fortress.
You say walls, huh?
This guy comes in with his 360 GoPro on a selfie stick, and they're like, this was never supposed to leave. And so what are they upset about? What has them all riled up? That the cat's out of the bag or the booze out of the bag.
I will say, I am surprised I'm just now learning about this.
Crazy.
Internet's been around for quite some time. I never once considered Googling this. I have in the last 2 days.
And the greatest promotion tool or ploy by this Tyler kid. I'm not doing it. I've been getting attacked and doxxed. And you're just picturing when I first read it days before he posted it, I'm like, man, just picture the Indian call centers just full of angry people, just like, we're coming for you. And they're just raging at him and his family.
Ding, ding, ding,
and then he finally goes, yeah, no, here, check this out. This is what they do.
Conor McGregor clip. I'd like to apologize to absolutely nobody. Yes. But it is. I'm honestly shocked. The most shocking thing out of this isn't that they do it. Funny enough, it's like San Francisco. I know it's everywhere over there. They just on the floor, on the street.
They have a poop map that
they got the map.
They literally made a poop map because it was getting so out of hand. They wanted to show how out of hand it's getting. Now the whole map is literally covered to where you can't see anything else. And they're like, all right, well, it's defeated.
Yeah, it's more that none of us knew about this. You know what I mean? I found that to be insane especially because it's. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is this like a national festival? Is this countrywide?
Well, you got to remember,
regional.
This is
in India.
Grounding,
huge. It's huge.
Bringing the season of culturalism. We got to remember how big India is.
It's huge.
So we're talking about, I think, the second most populated country in the world.
I think it's the most, honestly. I think it's more than China.
I don't know. I think China's the most.
It definitely was at one point.
I know it was at one point.
Most populated countries. India with over 1.46 billion, and China's right behind them with 1.42 billion.
So yeah,
we're the third most with 347 million. You see the jump there?
Yeah, it's like a crazy jump in population.
The bigger thing I'm trying to highlight, that's a massive jump. It's kind of remember, India is Asia, but distilling them out when you consider Asians and how Asians are the most racist amongst each other. Like Koreans are so racist against Taiwanese, against Chinese, it's like this whole Vietnamese.
There's literally a hierarchy,
and they're the most like strict about that, or believing in it. India is not far behind them. They're fractaled, and there is this like hierarchy of populations. So it depends on what religion is practicing this. I guarantee it's not, the national holiday, and I'm sure it's not a multi-religion. It doesn't probably span across multiple religions. However, across a lot of those Hindu-type religions, most of them do look at cows as a sacred animal. Most of them do believe in reincarnation, that being, an ancestor, a potential ancestor. And
I'm assuming they don't eat pork.
I think they do. I'm speaking out of hand. I don't know.
Maybe I should have looked into
eat
it
little
more.
white wafers on a Sunday. That's what I know.
Oh my God. This reminds me of the Family Guy clip when Peter drinks wine. He's like, oh my God, is that really his blood? Dude must have been loaded all the time. Like, it's such a good bit, but like, you're right. Like, it is a cultural thing. And here's the thing. For me to have never heard about this, I'm sure it's not the entire country. If 1.42 billion people were participating in this thing, it is 0% chance nobody had heard about this. So it's like, yeah, it probably is racial. It probably is a sector of religion over there that does this. Now, again, I understand why they wouldn't want the Western world to find this, because I am going to turn this into a bit.
Nah.
For this to be, it's a cleansing, is the funniest freaking thing I've ever heard.
It's the most Indian thing I've ever heard. And you know what? I don't feel bad saying that, because the line literally wrote itself.
Yes. It's a joke in and of itself. And again, for the people that participate in it and they love it and it's sacred to them, I'm happy for you.
They're happy?
That's what I mean. I'm not making fun of you for being happy. I'm making fun because I'm a Westerner over here going like,
taking a shower every day.
That looks disgusting.
You couldn't pay me.
That you couldn't.
Folks, guys, I am saving you all so much from how bad this really gets.
I've seen videos.
There's a clip from this where one of the city representatives is discussing about how they consume the liquid version. Brother, again, I'm saving you folks. And this guy's a bad guy for what? Just putting the microphone in his face.
Death threats from
Death threats for going, Mr. Bear, say what?
Alex, real quick, this reminds me of our reactions video last weekend, where the dude literally came out of a sewer.
Oh, that was an Asian country, Doug.
We were all agreed there was no amount of money that would make us do that. We would have chosen any other job we looked at before doing that.
Dude, you want to know the funnier thing is too? I'm now thinking they probably can't drink, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know, like some countries.
But the fumes in this bad boy. Yeah, Bill Gates is telling me cow farts are starting climate change. Imagine the methane just fuming in those folks. They're
look at him,
sky high.
Look at him. He's in a hazmat suit.
Okay, I just want to draw a connection here. Cultural connections. That's what we do here on the Rethink Tank. I look at you, redheaded buddy, hails from Ireland, and I think about Westerners, white girls, on when March rolls around and it's St. Patrick's Day. And there's the St. Patrick's Day parade, and the folks are going out. We're all going to be storming West 6. We'll see you on the streets. We're going to be drinking green beer. And just picture, like, you've been there, like the girls, they're getting their hair did. You're in the living room. Everybody's pre-gaming. Like, we're going out. I want to picture the going out pre-party of like, I'm getting my best. Guys, it's the poop fest today. Today's the day.
They're pre-gaming with liquid shit.
No, it's PT, dude.
Sorry, apologies. I didn't mean to disrespect your culture. But I agree. That's the thing. That's why it's like it for this to have been hidden for so long. I understand the death threats. I get it.
Don't let people know. The secret's out.
The secret's out. And all it took was probably one kid from like New Jersey going over there in a hazmat suit, going like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Look at his face in that thing. How would he, dude? I bet you he had a great time. How would you not?
I'd have.
How would you not? Like, I would.
Dude, he's looking at his cameraman like, did you get that?
Yes. Get everything. Nothing is off limits, dude. Here. Everything's a bit.
Like you mentioned, he's wearing a hazmat suit, dude. I'd be wearing a mask, man. The fumes and all. Like,
he's getting it in the face.
No. He was like, "This is the most exposure I'm giving myself. Is I'm going to be in the environment enough, but I don't want it to touch me. I don't want it to touch me.
He's covered,
dude. They're all covered, dude. Look at the person over on the left side of the screen. His right shoulder, our left. There is a ball this bigger than a basketball over the guy's head. He's holding it over his head. It's like, dude, how happy were you? Like a pig in shit. How happy were you? Like an Indian at a festival.
It is so bizarre. Like, this is so bizarre. Like, it is the year 2025 of our Lord. And they're like, we need to do not ethnic cleansing, but just cleansing of just like,
dude, they're looking at you going, that's your Lord, not our Lord. It's the year of the
pig and the cow every year for them. Like, this has been something on the internet. I'll be honest, the internet has had a streak of weeks here lately. And this one,
Tyler wins. Tyler gets a dub.
Dude, his family was getting the death threats and the doxing. And you want to know what he probably said to him? What are they going to do? Get on a plane and come here?
Yeah.
They're not coming here.
They can't even afford a bike.
They can't even put a bag of dung on her porch and light it on fire. They can't even do that. They're just over there swimming in it. Like, how long is this? Is it just a one-day thing?
I hope it's like an evening thing. I think it's like St. Patrick's Day. I'm going with just like, hey,
the Bulls, one day thing.
Yes, no, seriously. Like, is this like a one day thing, or is this
Spain's
like
we run with the bull?
Dude,
and they're like, we play in the pen.
For 1 week of the year in that country, the other Indians that don't celebrate this are like, all right, these are the regions you don't go to this week. It's literally a barred week. Just don't go there. You're gonna have a shitty time.
This is the best. This is quite literally the best day to go to the Taj Mahal because the rest of them are dancing.
Like, look at the guy's arm off of his left shoulder, the one like in the forefront, like this, like, right away.
Oh!
It is. You could see it. You could see it. It's like that scene from Jurassic Park where she sticks her arm into the dinosaur dung.
Oh,
and then like.
And the dinosaurs didn't dox Jurassic Park.
No.
I'm really curious. We got to flip it to the Pickle Gallery. Ricky, we've got a lot of chaos over here. What are your thoughts on Tyler's documentary?
Look at that new background.
I love it. My man's fresh.
Man, that's a whole lot of shit, bro. I still didn't watch it yet, but I saw it. I saw it pop up on my page on YouTube, and I'm just like, this can't be real.
Here,
and
take
then
my word from
I
it.
thought it was
this is India. The first frame. I didn't go much farther than this. I didn't have to.
Dude, look at his hazmat suit. Like, it
Why
is
his
literally
mouth
caked.
like, bro? You can get so sick out there. Like, that is crazy. I'll never.
Yeah, you can get so sick.
I would never put myself in that situation. They got the immune system for that. Not me. I'm a foreigner.
Ooh,
I was gonna say, isn't this how like plagues get started?
I know that's how you can get sepsis.
Well, that's why they're definitely they're needing of different vaccines than us more.
Oh my God, can you imagine? It's like, I think it was like a month or two ago. Some guy was like a tourist in a country, and there was like a terror attack or whatever, and he was just like vlogging every day there, and it like started happening. He's just like, oh my God, like his reaction was kind of like,
no, I would love if he's just like, let's take a trip to India, and they're like, are you going to the festival? And he's like, the festival, and he's looking at the video guy, and he's like, we gotta go to a festival.
Goosh. Like, what is this festival called? Like, do we even know the name of
Like,
it?
how do they come up with that? How's that culture?
Oh, because it's they need to cleanse and purify themselves. Verbatim. That's what they told me.
Shit.
That's what the chat GPT said.
So it
Which
must be
shit.
true.
It is called Gorahaba or Cow Dung Festival. Misrepresenting it as a poop festival is a hate crime. Yeah. But the Cow Dung Festival is different.
Misrepresenting the word dung as poop is bad. You shouldn't do that. That's a bad thing.
We want the medical term.
I never thought I would see something like this.
Dude, what I have scrolled across on TikTok is, what do they call her? Gorgon or something? That Jabba the Hutt looking person.
Oh, Frogan.
No, it's Gorlock. We got Gore. I'm scrolling past Gorlock. Now I've got Gorhaba. Gorhaba, not to be misrepresented as the poop festival.
Hey, at least I'll say that people at Gorhaba, they look like they're having fun. I'll give them that.
Whoa. Let's leave no room for misinterpretation or speculation. They are having fun.
Oh, they're having the best time.
The best time.
That's why it's like, I'm making fun to a point, but it's like, for them, it's like, this is their thing.
Wait,
they
hold on.
love
Let's
it.
be clear. I'm making fun at no point. I am reporting this guy got the last laugh because what would he have done? Okay, so he's getting all the internet's making all this noise. What's the takeaway? It's nothing but noise. Oh, guys, I'm so sorry. And they go, ha ha, we got you. Then guess what? You come out and say, nope, psych, India Poop Throwing Festival out now. And guess what? Nothing changed.
Americans do not negotiate with terrorists. Oh my God. I might have to just follow this guy.
You can dox, threaten, or harass, or unalive me, and I'll still keep going. I am unstoppable. I will never stop fighting for the truth.
And that's here's the thing, though. The truth, if I were him, I'd look at everybody and be like, look at how much fun they're having. I didn't ruin their fun. I'm not saying we need to stop this. I simply am just a man who participated and then came back and said, look what I did today.
Yeah, and that's their culture. Why they mad? Like, that's y'all thing. That's
right.
Because deep down they know they're disgusting.
Right.
Why
That's
they like, for?
Deep down they know it's disgusting. They don't want to have to justify it to anyone. They don't want to justify that they're disgusting. And now it's like, oh, everybody over here is like, oh, that's what you do for fun, huh? That's what gets your rocks off, huh?
That's so much what it feels like. It's like finding out, like, somebody in your buddy group, like the World Arena, you're sitting there and it's like, that's what you do at night?
Like, their fear is people in the political sphere now are just going to take them less serious because they drop cow dung on themselves.
All I know is if I'm sitting, you go, is this the most, like, the majority religion? Is this the thing that we see a lot of? And I look at you and I go, I don't know, dude. It's the biggest country. It's very divided. Many different cultures and religions in that culture or country in and of itself. And they all, like, dislike each other. However, if I was, like, I don't know, a diplomat that went to the UN, went to any world forum, was an ambassador, if I lived in the world where I was bumping shoulders with world diplomats, all I would do, I don't know all the Indian religions and the divides, but I would find out what this one is. Because all I know is if I'm sitting, we called the quorum, all the ambassadors are here, and I find out old chap over there,
the mayor,
dude, he practices what now? Oh, and no one else in the room, because nobody goes to that depth. No. I do. The rest of the room doesn't. They're just like, no, he's just a Gorba follower. And I'm like,
did you see this YouTube video?
Yeah,
check out this kid, Tyler.
That's when you go Exhibit A. And you put it up there for everybody.
It's like, I just imagine like the UN meeting for like another Dr. Evil like standoff, and they're like, the Indian guy like gives his like idea, and it's just like, didn't I just hear about What do you think?
We're moving on.
Yeah.
Last thing is, so he has that tweet, the psych, but he did follow it up, a little bit later, same day, and it is just funny. It's like, can't leave rest alone. He's just, I love this one. The United States of America believes in free speech. We do not bow down to doxers. We do not bow down to unalive threats. We believe in filming poop-throwing festivals in 4K. We do not negotiate with cyber terrorists. We are Americans.
Like, that's the thing. It's like the idea of doxing him. It's like, who over here is going to knock on his door and be like, dude, what was that about?
Because here's the reality. Any of those Indians that are living here, they aren't practicing.
Right.
So they also are like, I get it.
Like, if they're that mad about this, boys.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think? What do you expect from us? We're Western. We look at we as Clevelanders look at San Francisco as damn near a third world country at this point. Like, just with the map itself, and knowing that the map is completely filled, let alone now in 4K, there's a video of one of us over there filming, and I'm supposed to sit here and be like, yeah, but their culture, right?
Yeah.
Right. Get what I mean?
Oh, I get what you mean.
Our culture gets crapped on all the time.
Yeah.
Literally gets crapped on all the time. And you're literally doing that to yourself. And you're happy. Like, you're happy. Why are you so mad now?
Yeah.
And I know why you're mad now. Because you're filthy.
And you know it. You know I know now. You know I know you know.
I never ever really plan on going to India, but I will avoid that region.
Okay, in that spirit, let's start landing this plane. Maybe not in India. Ricky, give me your rapping thoughts.
India's never on my list. It's no disrespect to the people. It's just a disrespect to how it's highly disrespect to how they live. Like, I don't like it. What I see on the internet is not for me, so I'm not enticed by anything over there. Especially like that rat temple. Like that.
Yeah.
Creeps me the fuck, bro. Like, that creeps me out. Like, I don't want nothing to do with them. I don't want no food. I don't want no layovers. I don't want to fly over. I don't want nothing.
Don't even want to fly over.
I just think, like, when he brings up the rap festival, it's like, yeah, we need to have like a tier list of like the festivals and stuff over there. We're like, all right, this one's S tier, this one's like D tier, and poops in the P tier.
Poops in the B. Big oofs.
It's so funny.
Give me your rapid thoughts.
Hey, whatever, get your socks off, guys, over there. We're gonna make our jokes.
Do you think it gets them closer to God?
You know what? Yeah, I hope it does. If they think it does, I hope it does. Like, I'm not going to be like, no, you just got, like, no. If you think this is working for you, boy, hats off.
Hats are literally off.
I'm just going to go to church on Sundays, man.
All right. You know, what Tyler proved here is something a lot of people forget in the age of outrage. If you bend the knee to the mob, you never stand for anything. The internet will always find a reason to be offended, especially when curiosity looks too much like criticism. But curiosity is how we learn. Tyler didn't mock a culture, he showed it. He didn't distort a story, he documented one. And in the end, the people screaming the loudest only helped amplify what they wanted to silence. The documentary went viral. Millions of people learned something they never seen before, and nobody was hurt in the process. That's what happens when you hold your ground. Truth finds its way through the noise. So maybe the takeaway here isn't about a YouTuber or about a festival. Maybe it's about what happens when courage meets cancel culture. Sometimes the right move isn't to delete the post, but to hit upload anyway.
Psych.
Psych. This one, I am eager to touch down. Oh, I didn't realize that photo was so small. But boy, do we have a lot in store for you with this next one. We're not at Obama's yet. Bummer. I'm jumping the gun. I'm excited to talk about Obama.
Sorry, the festival threw us off our game.
Really did. Former Navy SEAL credited for eliminating Osama bin Laden, Robert O'Neill, sues podcaster for claiming he lied about the achievement. You know, this story feels bigger than a lawsuit. Feels like the beginning of the end of civilian speech. Let me explain what I mean. There are facts you can test, touch, and prove for yourself. And then there are facts you can only believe because someone in power told you so. Classified missions, those belong in the second category. And yet, here we are, where questioning those official facts can now cost you in court. Think about that. We're not talking about slander. We're talking about skepticism, the kind of skepticism that literally built this country. We have a Second Amendment because we understood the first one. Free speech would always need defending. The right to bear arms was never just about protection from each other. It was about protection from silence. So when a podcaster questions the government's version of the bin Laden story, it's not an act of malice. It's an act of freedom. Because remember how this story ended. They threw his body in the middle of the ocean and said, "Trust me, bro." And for a lot of people, that didn't sit right. Now, on Veterans Day of all days, I couldn't be more grateful for the brave men and women who've risked everything for our freedoms. But part of honoring that sacrifice is protecting the very thing they fought for. Our right to doubt, to question, to think. Because the moment we lose that, when the government decides what can and can't be speculated about, we're not free citizens anymore. We're just an audience for the official narrative. And that, my friend, is when the republic starts to fade into reruns. You know, the system says trust us, but history says double check. So I want to flip it to you guys first because I'm alarmed by this, I'm curious if you may see it otherwise. Is this something that we should be, standing up for? This is a decorated veteran that did something great for our country. Or are we up against a citizen or a civilian's right to question, talk, discuss, doubt, think?
I mean, I think just look at the Pat Tillman story. I mean, remember that was like a whole he was killed in the line of duty, but then they found out it was like friendly fire. But it's like when we questioned that at first, it was kind of like a no-go territory. So my thing is the guy who supposedly killed Osama bin Laden, and he very well could have. I don't know why he would immediately go to this.
Yeah.
Just this dude, again, it being to a degree of hearsay, I can't disprove you did it. You could say you did it, and it's okay, sure, I guess you did. But it's one of those, you now being this aggressive for it to I'm coming after you, you shouldn't be allowed to have an opinion on it, just gives off a weird vibe.
What's interesting is, and again, maybe I shouldn't get lost in the woods or even lost on Mars with this one, but, I would make the argument that taking the first step for man on the moon might be a little bit bigger for humanity and maybe even America than taking out the evil desert dictator. And about 60 years later, almost 70 years later, everybody is 100% still doubting Neil Armstrong. And Neil has sued nobody.
Right.
In fact, this dude goes on other shows and he's like, I never went. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the government narrative is saying, okay, if we were to go into a courtroom and the court goes, we are going to award based on fact. And it's okay, what's fact? Well, the government says we've been to the moon. Neil Armstrong himself is saying we haven't been to the moon, but the facts that would empower the court's authority would say otherwise. So literally somebody from Neil Armstrong's estate could sue for you defaming him just even having skepticism, doubting, being on a podcast, questioning. And he himself has like 6 different interviews where he's like, I never win. So I guess what I'm trying to use an obscure out there example is this is going to be law of the land, concrete evidence that can dictate a decision in a courtroom that honestly cannot be corroborated. We just got to take you on faith's word.
Right. The only thing going in their favor is knowing that Osama bin Laden was eliminated.
Robert O'Neill goes, you podcaster, you defamed me. And he goes, hey, whoa, how do I know? And he goes, because the fact is in this file, but the file is classified. Oh, there we go. And it starts and ends there.
It's a great defense.
Can I see the file? No, it's classified.
Redacted. And that's like the thing. Also, I guess like another thing also, why did they put his body in the ocean?
There's maybe because they didn't have one. They were like, hey,
you know what I mean?
It was like, hey, guy,
no,
get
they didn't want
Go
like to
skedaddle into
have
the woods.
they didn't want a site or to have martyrs
Right.
try to find it.
Yes.
It was
Okay.
better.
So
And it was one of those.
and it was respectful enough of burial at sea that no one might be uber upset.
But then also, it was a disgraceful. Like now, you don't have a restful final resting place.
Yeah.
So
you like drifted kind of this way.
yeah, dude. Do you remember when SNL did a skit and it's Keenan? That's how long this dude's been on there.
He's never leaving.
Never leaving.
Never
He was
leaving.
dressed as the crab from The Little Mermaid, and they're all singing about like finding forks and like all their, and then just this mummy comes floating down.
No, it's a good bit.
It's a good bit. It's a good bit.
And so like I guess that's my thing. It's just like again, like this Robert O'Neill. If what do you have to prove? Like for him,
That's the
you get
biggest
what I mean?
piece.
It's like we're just being skeptical, but this file that no one's allowed to read proves you did it. So we as civilians are unable to disprove it. We're just having some skeptic doubt, and it's not like, dude, like you're probably retired. You're probably living. You're the living legend that apparently shot the bullet that got Osama. You know what I mean? Like then it was an entire mission, but you're the one who got him. So if I were him, I'd just be like, dude, I don't got to prove anything to you.
Can I take an even bigger leap here? That personally to me is what makes it feel like even more so you're lying.
Right.
Like the fact that you need to be corroborated. Like you've been given awards, you have medals,
Right.
book opportunities, interviews. You're the guy, like you just said. That's the title. You've been given the badge. What else do you have to prove?
Yeah.
Like you would think a defender of freedom, one, again, perfectly on Veterans Day, one of the folks that have sacrificed themselves for this right, you need to take it or I guess, discipline someone for practicing this thing you've defended.
The best position he could have taken and be like, listen, I was the guy who did it, but I can appreciate you. Like you were allowed to have skepticism for it.
Brother.
You know what I mean? Like you were allowed to have
How about this?
skepticism for it.
Joe, you'll have someone like Mark Maron say some dumb shit. Joe Rogan, you look worse when you go like, who's that? You bad guy. I don't like this. It's a mean Mark Maron. The people that play it better are the ones like, I don't know.
Gillis?
Yeah, Shane wouldn't even acknowledge you. That's
Right,
it.
that's
So
what I mean. It's like,
thank you.
you
That's the
just feel like-
perfect one. So when Mark shits on Shane, literally doesn't say a word.
It literally gets brought up to him. He's like, I don't care.
I'm too big.
Yeah.
I got my own. Worry about your own lane. The fact that you are worried about this reads wrong. As some of the greats would say, I don't know, but I know.
It's one of
Something
those
tells
things-
me.
It's another thing too. It's like, it'd be like if there was like this campaign to like
Right.
completely disprove and
But a
discredit
side
this
conversation, theorizing
Right.
and questioning is totally
Like if
different.
there was a campaign to discredit this man's accomplishment and knowing like it is true, like I did do this, but I can't just show you the file because it's outside my ability to do so. Like, I'm not able to. That's different. An individual, like 2 guys right now with a microphone in front of them, like questioning you, and you feel the need to come after us. Like, if I was that podcast, I would triple, quadruple, go further down on him. I'd be like, he didn't do this. I know he didn't do this. Why would he say he did it? Why? Everybody says you are the only one who doesn't have to say I did it. The whole system is like, he did it. He did it. Why are you saying you did it?
Right.
Like, at this point, you should just walk around like you did it. Like,
right.
I'm that guy. Tom Brady doesn't go up to people and be like, I won 7 Super Bowls. It's like, no, we know you won 7 Super Bowls. You don't need to.
But even if there was some crackpot that's like, he really didn't win that one year, he was deflating footballs, and there was some goofy business. If Tom Brady goes, I'm going to go sue that kid in nowhere near Ohio and just ruin him because I need all these fingers full of rings isn't enough. Like
Eli and Foles took away 3 more. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like for this guy, it's like, dude, what?
Yeah,
like, these could be just like shock guys. They're just saying stuff. They're just saying stuff to say stuff. You got what I mean? Like,
I think I could relate. Yeah. I can't say I've been there.
They're literally just saying stuff to get a rile, and you fall for the bait. I'd be like, did you? Like, at that point, I'd be like, did you really do it though? Yeah. Like, where's the file? It's right here. Can't show you. You open it.
Yeah.
Just read it. Just read it verbatim to me.
Pickle Gallery. Ricky, what do you think of this? Man, I think I said everything, man. Like, but two things can be right at the same time. We can question it because we don't trust the government, and we appreciate everything you've done for the country. But like, why are you suing, bro? Like, it's just highly suspicious now. Like, you and your feelings, like you're about to lose all your book deals or credibility over the years. Like, it just come very defensive from his point.
Yeah,
I think Ricky nailed it. Like, 2 things. People don't like to accept that in today's world with the internet, but 2 things can be right at once. Like, 2 things can be right at once. Both of them could be bad. Both of them could be good. One could be good. One could be bad. Both of those things can be true, though. So that's like my thing with this guy. I'd be like, yeah, they're in the right for criticizing because it's the freedom of speech that you fought for, and you very well could be the guy who done it. Why are you coming out being like, oh no, I'm going after you for being wrong? It's like, what?
Yeah.
What? That's the position you want to die on?
Yeah, it's so anti the position you carry out as being a Navy SEAL.
He comes off like a hypocrite.
Exactly. Yeah. Doug, what were you going to say?
My thing is, it's like, oh, how can we know? Well, dude, I'd like to circle back to flags of our fathers. The raising of the flag at Iwo Jima. First of all, it's a second flag. Second of all, like, the people they had doing the bond tours weren't actually the people who raised that flag and were in that picture, because a couple of them had died during the rest of the fighting at Iwo Jima. So it's like government told everybody, these are the people. They did that. That was the original flag. Mm-hmm. But now we all know half of that is all a lie. Yeah. So it's like,
interesting.
Oh, you didn't know that? Yeah. Like, it was funny too. One of the guys that was there, or like one of the guys who got like a Medal of Honor previously, like, again, if you got the Medal of Honor back then, they took you off of active duty because they didn't want, like,
but quite a few, like a couple of them went back.
Yeah, they went back, and one of them was at Iwo Jima and passed.
Dude,
but again, it's like there was a little bit more transparency back then, back in the 40s and the 50s. But like, I mean, Doc.
No, but the bigger point is here. My comment to you, Robert O'Neill.
Real quick. There was no transparency. The government had full control over the news and media during World War II.
True.
They hid every picture of FDR in a wheelchair from the public under federal law to not show any weakness. So,
sure.
More freedom.
But, and okay, that exists. No, it's all the same.
Yeah,
What we need to realize is if anything, it's so much. It's as embedded now as it's ever been. It's just more exposed.
Yeah.
My comment to Robert O'Neill is, sir, in a world where there's holes in a narrative like Swiss cheese surrounding like a Building 7, I have no reason to have to take their word for it.
Right.
Literally the basis of the entire political logic that makes up the Constitution, which is the political document that beacon light guides all of the great democracies of the world today. If the basic political logic is bound by this fact, how could you ever stand up against it? Right. That's literally what you went and shot sand people on the other side of the world for.
Right. And then to come back and just attack like American civilians for just having a level of skepticism. It just like, it makes no sense.
Right.
It makes me not believe it now. It makes me have,
come on, 100%.
Yeah. It makes me have like a reasonable doubt. To be
considering, again, Robert O'Neill, we're real people with independent logic that is experiencing and living this world on our own. Something you should have to respect. You don't have to agree with it. It could be totally off base. However, you have to at least resonate with the fact that there are American citizens that have family, friends, and folks that have fought and sacrificed for the country that come back and expose it for the sham that it is.
Right.
Okay? So your position of it not being a sham could be that you had a totally, virtuous experience, and your experience is that it wasn't a sham. In a world where all the people that I've bumped shoulders with and the people they've bumped shoulders with all come back sharing the same story, which is we're fighting the big bishops fights and we're just pawns to a bigger game. The pawns know when they're pawns. So the fact that your position isn't that like, hey, the government uses us like pawns, but instead I'm a valiant knight for the government, for the state, that more than anything, just following the train of logic, tells me you are an actor for the state more than you are an active actor for the society, the community.
Yeah. Like if you're in any of these individuals come back and you have like an accolade of like that, you should have one of two responses. One, you just don't respond. You just be like, people can say what they want. Or two, you could be like, you know what? People are allowed to be skepticism, but I know what me and my team accomplished. And it was
that's a good answer.
And it was to like for the betterment of this country. That's it. What are the podcasters going to say back to that? Be like, most humble response. He didn't even come out and say like, no, I for sure was the guy. It's like there was an entire team of Marines there, Navy SEALs there. I know particularly the bullet that got him came from your gun. Exactly. It very well could have been, but we weren't there. Only your team was there. And it's like nobody else on the team is coming out and saying anything. You just like, you want to know why? Because they're probably retired Navy SEALs and probably like, you know what? I'm just glad I don't have to be a part of that anymore.
Right.
While also knowing like, yeah, there's also kind of a shadow over my head, which is the bishops that I can't just be coming out and say, like, did the government tell you to come out and say that to the podcaster? Probably not. Or maybe they did. Yeah. But it's like, if they did, it's like, dude, that's the life you have to live now.
Right.
The quick is literally no response to just, you know what, me and my team, we were given a mission. We went in and we all came back safe and we accomplished what our goal was.
Even more so. Listen,
super simple.
I'm not watching the podcast, so I don't know, their show, but I'm speculating. I'm totally speculating, but I'm taking a leap. And with that leap, I'm going to go out and say my hunch is that they're kind of done talking about this. Kind of like our show.
Yeah.
We have our topic, we leave it and we move on.
Unless
it's Ms. DeMoss breaking cars, then we'll have the occasional update of the next car, Subaru, that she's tanked. But like at the same time, we really just kind of present the topic, discuss it out, flush it, move on.
Yeah.
I got a hunch this topic was touched upon. They were like, mummies in the ocean. I don't buy it. And then you're suing that. Like they've moved on. And you just redrudged what they've flushed and moved on from.
They moved on and had to revisit it.
Now they're like, dude, but okay, now, modern social science, I'm dubbing, this is the Candace effect. Brother, if you were to do that to us at the Rethink Tank,
weekly
do you know how many of my extra hours will be dedicated to researching this?
Weekly updates.
Ooh, weekly updates. Bi-weekly updates. We just added another show to the week.
That's what I mean. It's just like for him, it's like, dude, like it should have been if you're one of those guys or any one of them, whether you're the guy who did it or just one of them on the team, you have two responses. Either you don't respond or you simply say, listen, my team and I were given a mission. We accomplished it. We came back safe for the betterment of this country. I'm very glad of what we accomplished. You know, you may have your disagreements. You may be skeptical of that, and you're allowed to have that right. But I know what we accomplished, and that's all that matters to me. Boom, done. What are they going to say to you? The podcast people are just going to be hyped that you brought them up.
Yep.
That's it. That's it.
In fact, they're playing that clip.
And they're playing that clip, and they're going to be like, you know what? And they probably like, I know if it was you and I and Ricky, and that comment came back, we'd be like, you know what? Fair response.
And we would probably give you even more credit towards like the reality.
We'd be like, hey, at the end of the day, thank you for what you did.
Thank you
for what you accomplished. You know, like, but you saying like, oh, screw you guys, I did it, and I'm coming after you. I'd be like, you didn't do nothing. You didn't do nothing. Look at this guy. He didn't do a damn thing. You know, like I would be. Were you even a Navy SEAL? I would take it that far.
That's the SEAL? Was that the SEAL?
You know, like, and it's like don't put us in a position to do that because we're just.
Oh, I'd be barking like a SEAL every episode.
That's what I mean, and it's like, guys, like, no, be smarter about it. Because we all know, like, there are actors in the game. There are the real people who did it. Some people could be both. Like Chris Kyle, it's like most accomplished sniper. He did that. Like, he did those things. Came back, PTSD, the whole 9 yards. Everybody knows his story. It's like, and, you know, tragically now passed, but it's like one of those things. It's like, I'm sure today he'd probably be smart enough to be like, hey, I don't really want to talk about what I did over there, but I'm, you know, the things we accomplished for the betterment of the country, and I'm glad the guys came back safe. Enough,
right?
Like, you know, like just keep it simple, by the bucks, you know.
Yeah, this guy, here's your response. Better, yes, do a little clip like that, sure. Your response should be, okay, you catch word. Probably your wife's sister's kid, your nephew from marriage sends you this clip of like, look at what these podcasters are saying about you, Uncle Tom. You didn't, Uncle Robert, you didn't do it. They're saying you didn't do it. You get this clip from your nephew, Matt. You're just like this 16. Little brat. And he's saying, you didn't do it. You didn't do it. Your options are A, sue the shit out of him. B, ha, 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 ha. C, close the app. D, this is 50-50. The other option is pivot, write a book, make $20 million.
I would choose the $20 million.
That's what I mean. I'd be like, you know what? Deep down, you know, I'm sleeping on my bed at night. You know, I've got my wife next to me. I'm living my life, and I'm shaking because I'm literally full of guilt because I'm lying to the American people. I was the one that handed a suitcase of $15 million to the bearded dictator and was like, just go deeper into the mountains. Just go deeper where we can't see you. And then I'm sitting in my bed just like, and then my nephew Matt sends me this shit. Again, I'm going to sleep so much better at night knowing that, like, I didn't do it. But last laugh is $20 million and 10, like, let's say 250,000 book sales says I did. Unicorns are real. Harry Potter is the chosen one, and I got Osama. $20 million. I still sleep at night going, but the thread count of my sheets makes it so comfy.
I'm sleeping on my cash.
Like, that's the bigger last laugh than now. More podcasters are laughing at you, dude. I didn't know your name. Now I'm saying Robert O'Neill.
Robert O'Neill? The Navy SEAL? You know, and it's like, I don't want to discredit what a Navy SEAL did, but like, dude, just keep it to yourself.
I am not degrading any of the narrative, the quality, the necessity, our reliance, our appreciation. I'm like the American way and the American right. What my God-given right. I'm just criticizing this American citizen. This guy, Robert O'Neill. I'm definitely, I got comments. I got thoughts.
That you fought for.
That you fought for, baby. All right, let's land this plane too. This time, not in a building. Ricky, any rapid thoughts?
Y'all sell the books, man. I don't know. Well, I would say the best response is no response. Don't say nothing. Just keep pushing with your life. Like everything is in a record book.
Keep pushing.
For the government wants you to be known as the guy that pulled the trigger. You're forever gonna live on, like no matter what anyone else say. But now you speak to the wall. There's a saying like you speak to the thing, it gives it life. You just gave this life.
Preach.
Yeah, preach. Speak to the wall, give it life. Rapping thoughts.
Robert. Oh, Robert. You know what? When you say like he's shaking in his bed, I just imagine like his wife sleeping sound.
Yep.
His two beautiful kids, and I'll give him that. They're probably beautiful kids, and they're probably just sleeping, you know, happy, knowing dad's a national hero, while he's shaking with whatever guilt he may have, looking at his phone, getting that text, about to send tweet like Trump at 4 a.m.
I'm coming for you.
But it's not like a national security tweet. It's just at a podcaster. Just completely screw up his reputation. You know, one of the other Navy SEALs that were on the mission just called him and said, Rob, how's your week been?
Let me tell you.
I would. If you were the Navy SEAL and you did that, and I would have called you the next day and be like, hey, man, what's new?
It's not Robert, it's vengeance.
You know, I'd be like, hey, just put the phone down, man. You got your kid's soccer game later. We got out.
Just put your phone down, man.
God damn.
So you could argue this isn't just about one Navy SEAL or one podcaster. It's about whether truth has officially become property of the state. And if that's the case, how much longer until speech needs a security clearance? At the end of the day, this story isn't just about one man's reputation or one podcaster's comment. It's about the boundaries of civilian speech. If questioning a classified mission becomes defamation, then truth itself becomes a government franchise. And when truth is no longer something we can test, debate, or challenge, it stops being truth and it starts being doctrine. So as we salute those who fought for our freedoms, we've got to remember that freedom was never meant to be comfortable. It was meant to be protected. And protecting it sometimes means asking the questions that makes power squirm.
The only one squirming is Robert in bed.
Whoa! Ba-dum-ching. Now let's get to a really fun one. Talk about squirming and rustling feathers. Leviathan's legacy. The lingering influence of Obama's America. All right, buckle up for this one. Tulsi Gabbard, former congresswoman, military veteran, director of national intelligence, and professional truth grenade, just dropped a claim that's got the internet spinning. According to her press release, Barack Obama ordered the overthrow of the government on behalf of Hillary Clinton after the 2016 election. Now, do I think anything will actually come of this? Obviously not. But at least someone's finally talking about it out loud. See, Obama is often painted as the smoothest talker in modern politics, the poet president. Calm voice, sharp suits, words that could make you believe the world was seconds away from a better tomorrow. But behind that polish, his rhetoric was just as calculated as it was charming. The man didn't heal the national divide, he franchised it. He spoke about unity while planting the seeds of social separation that we're still harvesting today. And let's not forget his so-called legacy project, the Obama Presidential Center in Chicago. What was meant to be a monument to hope has turned into a financial pit. Locals around the construction site are saying it's an eyesore, a burden, and a massive disruption to their neighborhoods. The financial disaster surrounding this project is even a better reflection of this legacy. In 2016, the original budget predicted it's costing about $300 million and was intended to be completed in 2024. Now the budget is well over $850 million and will not be done before 2026. The Obama Presidential Center's DEI mandates, aiming for 35% minority-owned and 10% women-owned subcontractors, have directly inflated costs by $40 million and degraded quality. Per the January 2025 federal lawsuit, a Black-owned subcontractor alleges that lead engineer Thornton Tomasetti imposed an unrealistically tight rebar tolerances after a leaked memo labeled the minority team inexperienced. These changes triggered $41 million in rework, over 1,200 plus rejected inspections, and 18 months of delays, all billed to the Obama Foundation. The DEI push also forced higher cost union labor and smaller, less efficient firms, driving total overruns past $300 million above the new $500 million budget. Critics note that the concrete tomb museum tower now risks structural cracking from rushed DEI-driven redesigns. Millions poured into a project that feels less like a library and more like a concrete metaphor for the post-presidency era. Big, expensive, and not exactly what the people asked for. So whether Tulsi's claim has teeth or not, it does shine a light on something bigger. The idea that maybe the Leviathan didn't vanish after leaving office. Maybe it changed form. Maybe the real legacy isn't what was said on camera, but the quiet deals and cultural rewriting that still shape how this country sees itself. So do we think Tulsi is just taking a political shot here, or is she cracking open a chapter we weren't supposed to read? Before we really dissect this whole dialogue, I do think we should just watch the clip. Here's Tulsi, Director of National Security and National Intelligence. Check it out.
We look at where we are now. Over the last several weeks, we've declassified and released documents that exposed how President Obama and leaders in the intelligence community knowingly manufactured a false intelligence document after the 2016 election was done, after the American people said, no, we want Donald Trump to go and be our commander-in-chief, not Hillary Clinton. And this manufactured document alleged that Russia aspired to help President Trump win the election with the aim of undermining his presidency and usurping the will and the voices of the American people who sent Trump to the White House.
What's that, Doug?
So real quick, she specifically says manufactured document. That immediately makes me question a little bit. I don't know. Does that
what do you
mean?
mean?
Well, she's like saying, oh, okay, so there's this document, Obama. It's a manufactured document.
Like it's a fraudulent document. That's how I interpret it.
Does make me a little more questionable. I mean, does it
what's
not make
questionable?
Say,
like that's what I'm confused.
Manufactured document, not the documents we found, the documents we discovered, the documents they created. She says a manufactured document. I'm just saying that stuck out to me. Do I necessarily know more than anything? No, I wanted to comment. She said manufactured document. I don't know.
Right.
That stuck out to me.
The reason that kind of confuses me, or like what
it doesn't confuse you that you
no, like I guess what I'm confused about is what you're making of it, because to me, when she says that one of the documents that were used to derail democracy back in 2016 was manufactured, to me that's saying that a fraudulent document was used to try to impeach the president.
That's what I wanted to bring
That's
up
how
is
I
her
interpret it,
wording of manufactured document. That's just what I wanted to point it out. That's
interesting.
So like you pretty much said, it's like that makes me think it, but I didn't want us to say. I just wanted to more point out. I focused on that wording of manufactured.
No, that's
document.
fair. Yeah. So, you know, the piece that we close out with here is Leviathan's legacy. And, I think this being a pinnacle highlight of the news, it was worth highlighting, Tulsi coming out and making these accusations and announcements on top of this through line, this building that's been ongoing. But before we kind of get into it all, what makes this, why is this Leviathan's legacy? I have a list here that, dude, is 37 deep if we want to go through them all.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Go ahead.
Leviathan, is that the name of the project?
No, it just means more that he created.
I'm calling it this.
Okay. I wasn't sure if that was the name.
No, the report I'm presenting is.
You called that, but when I Googled that wording, Google API came up with a whole list of he created a government. These are lists of things he expanded, meaning he created a larger government.
You're talking about the mythology of the Leviathan?
No.
I'm just saying when you Google.
What the hell, Doug? I got to say at this point, you're 0 for 2. Nothing you're saying is making sense to me.
No, I'm saying, so you put that topic in. I Googled it. I was curious what came up.
What did you Google? The word Leviathan?
Literally what the topic you put. I was curious what would come up. Obama Leviathan. And it came up with most common belief is that Obama expanded the government into multiple things and added all this stuff. And I'm just saying. That was my.
You're not thought. Just saying. You're actually saying nothing. That's what I'm trying to communicate to you.
Be that way, salty dog.
You're done too. The information below is all true. Here are Obama's accomplishments. The enemy within. Hey, good thing. First president to be photographed smoking a joint. Ooh,
I did not inhale.
First president to apply for college aid as a foreign student, then deny he was a foreigner. First president to have social security number from a state he never lived in. First president to preside over a cut to credit rating of the First president to preside over a cut to the credit rating of the United States. First president to violate the War Powers Act. First president to be held in contempt of court for illegally obstructing oil drilling in the Gulf of America. First president to require all Americans to purchase a product from a third party. First president to spend $1 trillion on shovel-ready jobs when there was no such thing as shovel-ready jobs. First president to abrogate bankruptcy law to turn over control of companies to his union supporters. First president to bypass Congress and implement the DREAM Act through executive fiat. First president to order a secret amnesty program that stopped the deportation of illegal immigrants across the United States, including those with criminal convictions. First president to demand a company hand over $20 billion to one of his political appointees. First president to tell a CEO of a major corporation, Chrysler, to resign. First president to terminate America's ability to put a man in space. First president to cancel the National Day of Prayer and say that America is no longer a Christian nation. First president to have a law signed by an auto pen without being present. First president to arbitrarily declare an existing law unconstitutional and refuse to enforce it.
Real quick, Alex, I really have to
try to communicate this well, damn it.
I will. So you mentioned first president to have a law signed by auto pen while not present. They're currently contesting Biden's auto pen pardons. So I think that's hilarious that that's on his list.
Doug wasn't here when we reported that. I appreciate it. Is hilarious.
Doug, so 1 for 3. I'll give you that one.
Yeah, I'll give you that one.
That was a base hit.
Hey, I understood it. It was
single.
English. I'll give it. Yeah, it was a single. You're on base. You're on base.
It's a current topic, at least.
You're on base.
Hey.
You made it on base.
It's funny though that's his, and then his vice president. Come on.
First president to threaten insurance companies if they publicly spoke out on the reasons for their rate increases. First president to tell a major manufacturing company in which state it is allowed to locate a factory. First president to file lawsuits against the states who swore an oath to protect. Arizona, Wisconsin, Ohio, Indiana. First president to withdraw an existing coal permit that had been properly issued years ago. First president to actively try to bankrupt America's industry through the coal industry. First president to fire an inspector general of America Corps for catching one of his friends in a court corruption case. First president to appoint 45 czars to replace elected officials in his office. First president to surround himself with radical left-wing anarchists. First president to golf more than 150 separate times in his 5 years in office. Ironic. First president to hide his medical charts, educational and travel records. First president to win a Nobel Peace Prize for doing nothing to earn it. First president to go on multiple global apology tours and concurrent insult our friends tours. First president to go on over 17 lavish vacations in addition to date nights and Wednesday evening White House parties for his friends paid for by the taxpayers. Don't ask him about the hot dogs. First president to have personal servants, taxpayer funded, for his wife or pal. First president to keep a dog trainer on retainer for $102,000 a year at taxpayer expense. First president to fly in a personal trainer for Chicago at least once a week at taxpayer expense. First president to repeat the Quran and tell us the early morning call at the Azan, Islamic call to worship, is the most beautiful sound on earth. Huh? First president to side with a foreign nation over one of the American 50 states, Mexico v. Arizona. Neat. First president to tell the military men and women that they should pay for their own private insurance because they, quote, volunteered to go to war and knew the consequences. Neat. And finally, then he was the first president to tell the members of the military that they were unpatriotic for balking at the last suggestion. Neat.
How dare you?
That's very Robert O'Neill of you, Obama.
Okay. All right. Those last two were great. Those last two were so good. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to laugh that hard. I was not expecting that curveball.
So, I think this falling apart concrete piece of rubble that is a reflection of it's a perfect reflection of his legacy.
It's not a good-looking building.
No, it's so gaudy.
It's so ugly.
Yeah, and the best part is it's falling apart for lowering the standard and rushing it to meet some BS narrative.
What kind of God?
That's what happens when you hire the person you have to hire and not the best person.
My thing is like where is this in Chicago? Is this located? Is this like down like a
it's
suburb?
Like in a neighborhood, dude.
Yeah,
I heard
like
they
that.
like tore down places and are building this around houses. That's why so many people are upset.
Like I'm thinking of like
the
new
neighborhoods
Crocker Park.
hate it.
I'm thinking of like the new Crocker Park being built around us. For those who don't know, we're having like this like little outdoor mall venue being built around our hometown or whatever.
But that has a big area there. That's
right. But like imagine if like it was torn down for like something like that. Like you
or
get what I mean?
even with everything being built, if this was put in the middle of it, you'd be like, seriously, this is so gross looking. And the fact that it's $850 million. It's
Can I tell you on my list of presidential libraries to visit?
Go for it.
Isn't even in my top. How many presidents are we at?
47. Technically 44.
Okay. Not even in my top 40.
I just got to say, the tallest building in the world, okay?
Right.
$1.5 billion. You're barely, at best now, we're scraping over 850 million.
I hope
it's like you're almost at $1 billion.
I hope it does.
And you're not the tallest building in the world.
He's not even the tallest building in New York. I mean, sorry, in Chicago.
Right. That's what I mean. It's like This is an ugly library in a city where folks can't read.
This might be controversial to Chicago people, but I'm telling you, the Trump Tower in Chicago looks a lot better than that piece of crap.
He had to do it.
But
I had to.
Like, this,
it looks
like,
a lot
again,
better.
It's a different kind of building, though. Like that's like.
But that's the problem. You could have picked any type of building.
Yeah, that's
you
what I
thought
mean.
this was like architecture.
It doesn't look like a library or like a
it looks like
museum.
a bunker.
You know what I mean?
It looks like SHIELD headquarters in Marvel.
Kind of,
I mean,
I'll
come
give you
on.
that. Like it's like I think like something mysterious is going on in that
Alex,
building.
you and I worked that movie, and tell me that doesn't look like the headquarters of the movie where we worked for.
You know, it looks like
I haven't seen the headquarters, Doug. I don't know.
SHIELD headquarters.
Yeah, you know, it's CGI. I don't know if you knew that. Sorry to burst your bubble.
I'm just saying, it's a giant concrete building, and it's ugly. Looks like the SHIELD headquarters in Marvel.
Ricky, I'm out here exclaiming, it's the legacy of the Leviathan. How far off am I? What are your thoughts on what we've dropped a lot of little bombs around? But the first president to have the most unmanned drone killings of all time, still record unbeaten. I should have had that on the list. Bombs everywhere. Go ahead.
It's kind of crazy that wasn't on the list,
bro. A lot of that first person sound like hit pieces Fox used to do every night on Obama. Like the first person to wear a brown tie on the stand. Like it's just like what the fuck. I'm tired. Listen, my rule from now on, after they get out of office, I have 4 more years of talking about them. Unless something major pop out.
4 more years what? I'm sorry. I missed that.
Of talking about them. After that, so I only have 3 more years of talking about Biden. So I'm gonna squeeze it. I'm gonna enjoy it. After that, I'm over it. Because unless some major shit pop out, I'm over it. Obama got my dad deported. So that first person to save people, nah, not true. Because my dad got deported under Obama.
Holy shit.
My dad got deported under Obama.
That was a more drop I was not expecting.
Hey, you know, I don't want you to feel like we're just sitting here digging up lost graves way back in the past. No. You know, you say we're past the 4-year threshold. One thing I really need to exclaim is, if you're right, but, you know, my caveat, my little loophole here is Biden was never president. It was just Obama Part 3.
Yeah.
So I bought my 4 more years of Obama shit talking, man.
Yeah, I'm not sure Biden should really get his own.
Biden was never president. Wait, hold on. What did Doug had to go, stop, 1 piece break. Did you say first president to auto pen? Okay. So can I just acknowledge that we had to highlight in a list of 37 that he's the first president. He wasn't even dead in a basement like Biden. He's like perfectly fine, dapping up, you know, hey,
a young, healthy man.
And then they're like, hey, homeboy, can you come over here and sign it? And he's like, nah, dog, just push the button. First president to push the button.
But here's the thing.
And then when the dead guy comes in, Biden walks in, he goes, dude. I started this thing called push the button.
Push the button. You see this little thing right here?
And then like Secret Service, sir, he cannot push buttons, brother. Pick his wrist up, drop it.
Yeah. All right, you put a pen in his hand and see if he looks like Joe. You know, but here's the thing. It's like I can kind of understand Ricky's sentiment, because it's like at some point, like again, we stopped talking about Bush, stopped talking about Clinton and stuff like that. But Obama's legacy has lingered for way longer than he's been out of office. You still really feel it. And then the issue is, then again, these are thoughts.
Because they keep doing Netflix documentaries or bullshit.
Doug, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about literally.
Trump put kids in cages. We go, Obama built those cages. Ricky goes, Obama put my dad in.
You know, like that's the thing. It's like it's hard to escape it when it's like that history is still here, and like
that's absurd.
And like people would point at you and be like, oh, you can't be saying that. And it's like, again, we all know what the Biden administration was like. Here's what I'll say. I didn't see George Bush a lot during Trump's presidency.
I saw Dick Cheney.
Saw him a lot. I saw Biden a lot during Biden's administration. I saw him a lot. Saw him way more than I thought I would. You know, and if I were one of these guys, George Bush did it right. I may not have liked the guy, but he got out and he was like, I'm going to the farm and I'm never leaving. And it's like, I don't blame you to a certain degree. He wanted to stay around. He's lingered around. The whole Russian thing, we talked about it a decade ago, saying like there's zero. They did an entire investigation. There was no collusion. There's an entire, he was impeached on it. Trump was not impeached on it. And now like, this documentation is coming out and it's like, all right, someone had to have, I'm going to use Doug's favorite word here, manufactured that story to a certain degree. So for it to be the prior administration before Trump does not surprise me at all. Doesn't surprise me at all.
Wait. You mean the party that purposely rigged their own primary so that Hillary would be elected?
Yeah.
No way!
Dude, they literally haven't stopped cheating. As we're sitting here, they're like, this dang Trump, he's got the whole government shut down. And like Osama's final breath, he's just like, they're holding the American desperate public hostage going, you guys are going to outvote us, so we're not opening the government until you promise not to outvote us. And they're like, do you believe these guys keep cheating democracy? They have no respect for democracy. Yeah. It's insane.
You know, and that's like the thing. So it's like, and again, also, Obama wouldn't be talked about if this thing got built really just simply. It was like, hey, he disappeared. He built this nice thing and it's great. People like it. Nope, it's literally an eyesore. Literally an eyesore, let alone the cost of it.
Well, dude, Will, it's the thing. Have you heard about George Bush's library or like any other library?
No.
Like nothing, no library has brought as much
not
news
to go all
as
Charlie Kirk
this.
on everybody, but some might say that's the cost of forcing DEI. But that's just me.
You know, and like it just comes back to the whole like, again, all of like the collusion stuff, like because that's the thing I want to like highlight the most, like because like I do take what Tulsi said with like the biggest grain of salt. And I it is something I do believe. Like that story was manufactured somewhere. Right. And the fact that there was an entire investigation done by the agencies of the government that definitely were probably against the administration that was currently in to come out and be like, there's nothing there. Who started this? Like, my first thought was Hillary, obviously, because we all know she's a little sneaky. She's been a little sneaky for a while. But then it's Obama. And Obama's been doing stuff like this for a long, and he's a good looking guy, sharp dress, smooth talker, very charming. I'm sure if I actually sat down with him at a bar, I'd probably like the guy. Like I'd probably leave being like, you know what, disagreed a lot, but man, he's a cool dude. You know, he's like that kind of disarming kind of
charming
individual.
and
yeah, like he could disarm an individual, but it's like he's like Bill Clinton was like supposedly the same way. Now we all knew it was Hillary probably pulling the strings. She just knew she couldn't get into office unless it was through old Wild Bill. But it's like one of those where it's like I've never seen a former president more than you people would argue Trump when he got out of office, but it was mainly if you went on like the mainstream media, they would just talk about him all the time still because there wasn't much to talk about with Biden because he was a Roomba. And then you had Obama was everywhere. Like it was alarming how everywhere he was.
Well, and not to, totally leave behind the comment I had for Ricky, which was, again, Ricky goes, hey, I'm giving it like 4 years after their presidency. They're relevant. I'm talking about them. But beyond that, it's over. My quip back to him is, well, Biden was president for 3 terms. Like Obama was president for 3 terms. He was behind the curtain pulling the strings during the Biden administration. That is like a one-off. We claim it, we move on. There's a lot of legitimacy there, dude. For a party that's sitting back going like, Trump's not going to leave office and he's a dictator and we're looking at a fascist. You also go, what's the sign of a real fascist than a guy that truly never went away? And he didn't even need to sit in the chair. He never sat in the throne. He never wore the crown. He let some other puppet do it while he pulled the strings and still managed the office from Chicago.
It wasn't Obama part of the discussion to have Biden drop out of.
Yeah, right?
Like,
so who does Nancy Pelosi and the head leaders of that party go confer with when they're going to do a Democratic coup? They go to Obama. What were you going to say, Ricky?
I feel like y'all getting Obama too much credit. Like he he don't have this much power as the Clintons does in Washington, bro. Like, I don't think like y'all giving this man way too much. Like, the Democrat fucked up when they choose Hillary over Bernie and rigged the shit. That's
Bernie had momentum,
and they can never recover since then. And they keep using Obama as the face for the Democrats. Any rally they need, they throw him out there. Anything, they just throw him out there. It's like, it's the part. Like, I blame this more on the whole freaking party than Obama still being in the vision, because they have nobody else to push out there that people will rally behind somewhat and get the votes. Like, that's only reason he's still in her face, man, because the Democrats don't have no sense of direction. They don't know where they're going. They don't know what to do. And that's a great relevant, I guess, in our mouth, I guess. So I guess, yeah. I don't know.
No, dude, Ricky, I think that's a great point. Is like, Obama's been more involved in politics. So either Alex or Will brought up, you haven't heard much about Bush, yet somehow Obama has kept being involved in every election since he's been out of office. That's a great point, man.
No matter how little
that's kind of in contrary to the
is,
spirit of Ricky's point
out there.
Yeah, it's the opposite.
It is, but like, and I blame the Democrat Party for this, that he's still in our face. I wish he would just chill on Martha's Vineyard over there with his family and just chill out, enjoy his life.
He hasn't.
You know what I'm saying?
He hasn't, though.
That's
my only go ahead, Ricky. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it makes it bites what I said initially right in my ass, because like, I don't blame him. It's the Dems. I blame the whole party. Whoever the big brother behind all of this, that's not Obama. I don't feel like Obama is big enough to run the government behind the streets. Like, what part? Come on now, man. Y'all, whoever real big brother is, that's who is controlling Biden. It wasn't Obama. Like,
well, I appreciate your position, but the main piece that I would use to push back against it is where you may, like, no matter the party or the politician, once they leave the office, they may leave your relevance in like 4 years. However, Obama's authority and relevance is far from gone, and it only just continues to snowball. And I think it's because, once you become the president, you're legitimized. You are like a certified voice. And the Democrats have no leader. They're voiceless. Nobody wants to look to Gavin. The factions that look to Gavin Newsom for their voice are at odds with the faction that looks to AOC for their voice. Bernie Sanders goes and puts his arm around Mandami. Well, there's a lot of folks in California that are big fans of Gavin Newsom that aren't going to see eye to eye with that communist type of perspective. Also, there's a lot of infighting. You have somebody like Bill Maher that just goes and has dinner with the president, and now he is a recluse, hated by his party. He is the same one that calls out the others within their party, going, guys, we should be able to criticize and be able to, differ, but still, not threaten the cult to such a degree where I'm banned and, shunned from the party. Well, that's the world and the toxicity of the Democrat Party. Well, Obama is the only voice, because it can't be Bill Clinton. Hillary Clinton was never given the stamp. She's not certified. Bill Clinton is playing with balloons a decade ago. He is not viable to be a voice for the Democrats. Obama is the presidential poet, and he's this charming, well-spoken man. While his words are a wedge that just continues to divide our country, he is a focal point of the party. You may have moved on from them, but the Democratic Party, he can write a book, he can make a claim, he could go on a podcast, and whatever he says, that doctrine is law. They live by it. And the problem is, every time we come into a moment of conflict or stalemating friction, he goes, instead of going, hey, guys, maybe we shouldn't be celebrating one of the political actors of the other side getting shot in the neck. He chooses not to do that. So the voice of the party, the one with the highest level of certification on his voice, everybody's looking to see what he says, and he goes, we should all be really, really pissed at what ICE is doing right now. That's what you have to say right now, that we need to go fight ICE? That didn't help the problem. And so he's always been the wedge pushing it deeper. And again, this is just a moment of like perspective disagreement. I do not see him as lacking authority. I see him as probably Nancy Pelosi stepping down. Her big floating bags are going to be leaving Congress. And I think he's the only certified highest level voice of the Democrats right now.
I definitely think he's in the top 5 of like he can push the pendulum for him. Like it was 2008 when Obama came onto the scene for us. And it's like he still is such a strong voice to that side through multiple. And when he came on in 2008, that's like when he started.
Right.
So like that's when he was like put to the highest rung. And it's like he's still up there.
So are we saying is that Obama's fault or the crappy
leadership? No, Ricky, I completely disagree with you. I do disagree with you. I think Obama really does have a lot of pull with the government. Him completely going on television saying this isn't a Christian nation anymore. I definitely think he has an agenda that he really wants to push in this country, and that's why he still hangs around.
And don't take it as like I'm saying,
not saying it's a slight to
Obama,
like,
Barack Hussein Obama. I'm not saying any of that. I'm not saying that he's trying to have us pray 5 times in the street to, Islam music. I am of the belief that we are at war. We need to. There's a degradation of society, a killing of the nuclear family. We are eroding our society because then it makes us easier to control and manipulate, get us on social credit systems, be able to police us through cryptocurrencies, and restrict our social and ideological thoughts and movements. You were going to jump in?
I'm asking, like, is it Obama's fault or the Democrat Party, the whole party's fault? Like, if they would have moved on,
Ricky, who cares? Wait, not even that. Who cares whose fault it is?
Yeah.
That's not even the point we're making in here. The point is, you're saying he really isn't. You were like, well, he ain't relevant to me. Then it was like, well, he really shouldn't. He really doesn't have that much pull.
I was suggesting we should move on every 8 years or whatever from a president. I was just suggesting bringing on an argument, but it's not what I live by.
But for the sake of our conversation, it's irrelevant if his major pull and influence and power is the Democrats' fault or his fault. It doesn't matter. That power is still there. That pull is still there. His ability to puppet influence that party. I don't really care who's to blame for that. I guess what I'm trying to isolate is the fact that we all can agree that he is in that position.
Facts.
Alex, real quick.
But it's kind of, you got to put blame somewhere and be like, yo, y'all got to get a grip of this and don't rely on the man that's been out of office for over a decade. Like, come on.
But like Ricky, he was directly involved with Biden's decision to not run for a second term. And that was 18 months ago. So within 18 months, Obama had a very direct say in
the presidency.
In the presidency of you should step down and Kamala should run. And then afterwards, he came out and regretted then doing that. That is direct. Like, I'm blaming Obama. I'm not blaming the Democrat Party. I'm blaming Obama for that. You wanted to put your hand in the pot. It didn't go the Democrats' way. You had a direct decision in that.
Yeah, you see, you just put it straight up. He did say that did happen. You guys are right.
And that was a year ago. And again, Obama's been out of office about a decade now. And within the last 18 months, he had a direct decision making in literally the Democrats' nominee for president. And I'm supposed to sit here and be like, oh, who's really to blame? It's like both. But like, I'm not going to sit here. Like, the Democrats gave him the full reign to have that decision making and have that authority pulled.
And in the theoretical realm of postulating fascism, that's also the presidency where the entire preliminary process of the people's voice was completely eliminated from the Democrats' process.
Like, I'm like,
for the second time.
For the second time.
It'll be what, 28 during the next presidential election? 28?
28, yep.
Whoever the nominee is, he will probably be the second or third biggest speaker beside the nominee.
That's what I'm getting at.
He will be the second or third biggest speaker. And regardless of who wins that election, I'm going to go out probably on record, and I could be wrong now. It's 2025. But in 2032, I highly doubt Donald Trump is the top 3 speaker for the next one. I'm sure he is going to be at that point, be like,
unless it's Vance.
But if it's not Vance, he's not going to come. He's just going to be golfing.
Will, you nailed it, man. Because that was one thing I was going to say is Trump will definitely still have control probably over the next election being the most recent Republican. But it's I would hope by the next, he doesn't have that same control.
That's the thing.
And that's what I hope. I guess that's what I hope for. It should be like that. I guess that's what I should have said. That's what I hope it should be
like that. Yeah, I agree.
And I'm with you on that. That's the thing when it comes to Obama. And it's he was out of office a decade ago. And within the last 18 months, he had like you said, completely passed the Democratic primary. It's Kamala. Just hey, you were giving it. People can say what they want about Trump all they want. He went in 3 or 4, presidential or Republican primaries, won them all. The Republican voice was heard. Regardless if you liked what the voice said, the voice was heard. They picked him. The last election, not at all. I'll give Biden that credit. In 2020, he won that primary. We get it. It was Obama's guy, but it's he was their primary nominee. I'll give it to him. Last time it's I don't know. Then when it all came out, he and Pelosi had the biggest poll, and it's a year later, Pelosi's now retired. Well, I guess Obama's top dog then. Why would I think otherwise? Especially since you're constantly hearing him all the time. I'm so surprised. And I'm with Ricky. I wish they went to minor irrelevancy afterwards and they just kind of went and did their own thing. Because if I was president after my terms, I'd probably want to just go and do my own thing anyways. Serve my country.
Let's be honest. Pelosi will probably still be campaigning for the Democrats come the next presidential
And I'm
election.
sure she probably will. I'm not, but I'm just saying she says she's retiring. Taking it with a grain of salt, but it's Obama's not retiring. He could have retired. He could have retired and just been a Bill Clinton former president and just show up at events, show up at Knicks games or whatever, and people would have been oh my God, it's great to see him, and doesn't say as much and just kind of just is enjoying his life, which why wouldn't you want to? Because you got Secret Service following you. You were the most protected person on the planet, one of them. Instead, he's not. Every time he puts his hand in the pot, trying to stir it a little bit, whether the Democrats are telling him or not to, he's still choosing to do it. He's still putting himself out there.
So, Ricky, any rapping thoughts on the whole topic here? The Leviathan's legacy.
And the building, to me, back to I kind of like it, but not for a library. I like it. If that was
what do you like it for,
if
not a library?
Well,
prison.
It doesn't look like a library to me.
That's what I was thinking.
That's all I'm saying. It doesn't look like a library, but I like
doesn't
the
look
look of
like
the building, dog.
Prison.
I'm not gonna lie. I like the look. It does look like a downtown jail. Never mind. I didn't say that. Bye.
It looks like a mini fortress.
I'm here.
Shield
How does it make him feel at
fortress.
home? So, Wilbur, any rapping thoughts for us?
No, I think I said all I needed to say. I think he's very much a direct influence on the Democratic Party. That there's a direction they want to take the country in, and he's still a major voice to be heard. When it comes to it's a library, right? That's what they call it, but it's more of a museum, whatever it is called. I'm not a fan of the building, but I want it to get to $1 billion funding. Just knowing. Only reason is because you said the tallest building in the world was 1.3 billion. Knowing this little squatty potty looking building, it's got to be
the Chicago prison with books.
It's again part of his legacy. It's a decade later, and that's not even finished.
Yeah. At the end of the day, whether you believe Tulsi's claims or not, one thing is certain. Barack Obama's shadow still looms large over American politics. He's not just a past president, he's an ongoing influence, a symbol of what some call hope and others call control. The irony is that for a man who promised transparency, his legacy may go down as one of the most opaque, full of charm, intellect, and unspoken power. The real question isn't whether Obama's legacy is good or bad, but whether we ever truly reclaimed our government from the Leviathan it became under him. Because when power grows beyond accountability, it doesn't retire, it just rebrands. All right, let's close out our episode here with our favorite part, the Wheel of Topics. All right, to find yourself featured here at our Wheel of Topics, you got to head on over to our website at www.rethinkthinkpodcast.com. Join the Neuro Gym. It's free. And be a part of the member.
Big beautiful Bill.
Give us some topic ideas. Some
Big beautiful Bill. Come on. Oh, it's not.
Ideas, some exciting things you'd like to see us close the show out with.
Big beautiful Bill. Come on, baby.
Big beautiful Bill.
Dang, you ruined it.
I see. Oh my God.
Too much cheating.
Third time's the charm.
Third time's the charm.
Cracker.
Dude, he's about to throw a cracker on the floor.
Why does everybody believe?
Let's get to some of our user submissions. Again, the fun part of the Wheel of Topics as we close out our episode is to get you involved. So we're going to click on over to one of our viewer submissions. These are our videos where, again, folks head on over to the Neuro Gym and submit some topic ideas they'd like to see us close out the show with. This one coming from Matt B. Matt B. Sorry, I'm trying.
Where are you, Matt?
Yeah, Doug's had to leave to go pee, so I don't have a second pair of eyes.
What do you need, big guy?
Looking for Reels. Where's the one that says Reels? Or Instagram? Insta.
Scroll down. I don't see either Reel nor Insta. Antarctica. Believe everything you see.
Where's that?
Go up.
There?
Right
Is that
there,
the
my friend.
small-
That says believe everything
There we
you
go.
see.
Well, I know
Dot.
they watch Instagram reels and okay. If there's one specific topic, I don't know about the right question, but one that I would probably say is, why does everyone believe what they see on all these reels? Not just like, oh, you believe everything you see on the internet. Not like that. Like, it's deeper than that. Like, people will watch shit and think that it applies to life completely, and it's crazy. People speak in a way that it's true. People just believe it.
I'm literally listening to Doug miss and just pee all over the floor. It's vile. Anyway.
Good submission.
Getting to, dude, it's so gross. Doug is a swine, but it's okay. Doug doesn't clean after himself, so the maid will get it. That's me. Matt B. What I take from his submission, his video submission, he's kind of opining on the fact that, like, it isn't just nowadays like what we grew up on. Everybody just believes what they see on the internet. It's kind of gotten more like infectious than that. There is this like sense of authority that your reels or your For You page gives that it really doesn't deserve. So it's one of those like, well, because I scrolled upon it, your instinct is to believe it. And like, you know, it takes a lot to corroborate and learn the fact that, like, okay, this actually is just, you know, a falsehood. But because your instinct is to believe people, we've kind of developed that instinct through the internet too. And so people just see a reel and they just are like, yeah, I saw this thing that like all the bees, if you have too many living near you, it gives you cancer. And they're like, what? And it's just like, it was in a reel. And it's even funnier that people will go, I read it in an article. Bitch, no one reads anymore. Who are you lying to? You saw it in a reel.
You saw Jack Mack talk about it on Barstool.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
Honestly, it's I just think, like, again, back when we were younger, we tried to like we got like envious of like the things we used to see on the internet. Like we tried to like, because like it was like a lack of something we had like in our own life. Now I think it's transcended to the point where it's removed a level of skepticism in some people, and then in others, you and myself included, has triggered a lot of skepticism to where you see it and will immediately be like, that's not true. And then Google if it is true or not. You know what I mean? So I think
That's funny too. Yeah.
So I think like it's kind of like evolutionized through time. Because like you remember like back in the day when Instagram was just like photos, people want to look what they saw on Instagram. Now it's like your Instagram could be like a multitude of things. And I'm just picking Instagram specifically.
Right.
But it's like when you brought up like Reels, I'm going to stick with that. And it's like, I think a lot of people, again, it's a quick dopamine hit. You want to be triggered by something. So you're going to fall for like the easiest traps in the book.
Ooh.
And you don't practice that level of skepticism anymore. You just sort of believe what you see on the internet. Because it's not, for us, Instagram Reels, like I said, we don't read articles anymore. That's like our mainstream news. So we'll view it like how our boomer parents will look at like CNN and Fox and MSNBC and take it completely at face value without being like, that doesn't sound right. That just doesn't sound right. And you don't look into it. You're just like, oh my God, I can't believe they're doing that. And it's getting even worse now with like AI. Like you're going to have your AI reels that look super real. And people are going to be like, did you see that? Did you see that actually happen? I saw a reel the other day. The Browns are in the playoffs. I can't believe it. I thought we were doing awful. That's what I mean. Like, I just think like there's a level of skepticism kind of taken away from people.
That's a fair point.
In lieu of giving it up to like a dopamine hit.
Ricky, what do you think of the topic idea here? Like, do you agree with it or do you kind of disagree?
I agree. Like, it's real where you tell people don't believe anything you see on the internet back in the day. You have to put that times 1,000 now. Because people literally see you mix ginger and watermelon and it cure anything you have in your gut, any inflammation, anything, and they'll run with it, bro. And I don't understand. Like, there's no thought they put behind it. And it happens with like the older people too. That's on Instagram. That is
more
scrolling.
so, yeah.
And believe anything. When you ask them for like, where you see this, and they show you the video, you'll be like, bro, that's AI. That lip is not even moving correctly or something. I hate it because when you come to me like, why? You can't just get the headline and run. Let's get some more information. If you see it on Instagram, confirm with a couple other sites at least, just to make sure it's somewhat true, you know. Just gonna leave.
I feel you. Doug, now that your tank's empty and you're comfortable, what do you think? You think it's a viable point? Reels are the authority?
I think people need to be smarter and not believe everything. I mean, is that so hard? Like, yes. I don't believe everything I see or hear until I see it from multiple, what I would consider reputable. So I see some on Instagram, Facebook. I don't necessarily believe it right away. But hey, I'm not the one on TikTok all the time either, though. So
what's the takeaway? Be a Doug. Be a Doug. Ricky, let's close out today's episode. Just Another Day TV. Tell the folks where they can find you.
Hey, shout out of the week goes to Whitelock Adventure. Go check them out. Whitelock Adventure. Just Another TV, man. Anywhere, everywhere, other than your mom's underwear. I'm here. I have content coming. Literally dropping. I was gonna drop it tonight, but tomorrow. And every day there's a new video, like literally dropping, following the same thing for like 10 days, and then I'll
love
see what
that.
I'm doing after 10 days. But let's up, y'all. We outside.
We outside. I'm going to be looking forward to catching those. Be sure to catch out the new drops from Just Another Day TV. All right, guys, like we said, we've got the Wheel of Topics. That's how we get you guys involved. The whole purpose of the live show is to have your perspective season our dialogue here. So we appreciate everybody that dove into the comments and add a little bit of a dynamic to today's episode. With all that being considered, to get involved, head on over to the Neuro Gym. It's where you can have a dialogue with people in the community and then also give us some of your topic ideas. See yourself featured on the Wheel of Topics as we close out our episode. But also, we've got our Sunday show, as Doug was indicating throughout the episode. We've got a reaction show and our Sunday football review. And we've got other podcasts and TV shows throughout episode shows that you can find throughout the week. And it's across different channels. So if you're looking for one central place where you can find all of our content, that's at www.rethinktankpodcast.com. And it's there where you could become a member of the Neuro Gym for free. So be sure to head over on that way. But we appreciate you joining us. If we made you laugh, if we made you think, the best thing you could do to support the show is like the show. Hit the like button and be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss us for our future episodes, because we're here each week. If you like this show, someone else you know will too. So be sure to hit that link and spread it around to help us as we battle these algorithms. But otherwise, we're here each week. So make sure you join us next week. Thanks again. Have a good night. Talk to you later.